When I came back from the war, World War II, I had finished 2 years at Paducah Junior College. I came to the University of Kentucky, which was crammed full of students, 8,000 students on a campus that 6,000 was a crowd. And 4 months later, married and was looking for a place to live, and it so happened that Jerry Lederer had turned his house into a duplex. So we lived above them, and he and his wife, and the door from the steps down to their part of the house on the first floor seemed never to be closed very long, because we became very close friends. And I did my last 2 years of college in about a year and a quarter, and left to go back to Paducah to be in business with my father. And he died 3 months after I got there. Had an offer for a job in New York that was an excellent opportunity, but I couldn't believe I could live in New York and have to go down into the bowels of the community and take a hour's trip out to the suburbs to be able to find a place I could afford. And I went to a friend of my father's there, whom he had bought from years. And I said, "Tell me, Frank, am I just a country boy afraid of the big city, or have I got cause to not want to move into New York with the type of living I'd have to do?" He said, "Don't ask me." He said, "I was born and raised over on the east side of New York, and I've worked my way all the way out Riverside Drive, all the way to Westchester County. I'm just trying to make enough money to move out of the whole state of New York." I said, "Thank you," and I called my wife. I said, "Pack the bags, we're leaving." So I was headed to Louisville to sell life insurance. And I had to change trains, and had a layover in Lexington. And I went to see a few of my friends, including Jerry. And when Jerry found out what I was going to do, he said, "Don't do that." He said, "Stay here in Lexington and join me in the restaurant business." At the time, before the war, he had 13 5-cent hamburger stands called the White Taverns. And during the war, he couldn't get meat, couldn't get sugar, couldn't get cola. He had to sell off or close all of those restaurants with the exception of 3 in Lexington. And I said, "I don't know anything about the restaurant business." He said, "Well, I'll teach the business to you, and we'll expand it, and we'll grow it to back like we had before the war." Well, he offered me the opportunity of a decent salary and the right to buy a third of the company as time went by, and to buy the entire company on his death. So I accepted it, and I began to learn every facet of the business that I could. And I worked every job that we had in our organization until I knew that I knew the business better than my employees.